Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look once again into installing and setting up a ESX server. Everything has since been updated. There will be a download link down in the description to all of the scripts and stuff that are used in this video. It'll be a download link on my website. And there's a couple things that we need to do first. One, you need to go and download all the scripts. Two, you need to install Heidi Sql, as well as those will be linked down below. Google Chrome will want to open for me. I don't have these links pulled up because I am a 10 out of 10 YouTuber. Heidi Sql, and we'll need one more piece of software. So we'll need two softwares. So first you want to go and download Xampp, and what Xampp does is it allows you to run and install MySQL. I will show you the install process for it because we're going to need this for database and installing and caching and things like that of our characters to make sure that we save our characters so that people aren't constantly making a new one when they come back. So you want to download it for the OS that you're on, either Windows or Linux. In this case, we are on this machine, which is my main machine, we are running the Windows 11 leaked development build from a while ago. So we're going to download for Windows. So Xampp is the first piece of software that we need to install in order to really get everything going. I'm going to assume that you guys already have a base 5M server set up with absolutely zero scripts on it. If not, and you'd like me to cover that, leave it down in the comments below and just spam 5M default server. If I see a bunch of comments that are saying that you want to see a 5M default server and how to set that up, I'll make a quick video on that. And if you're coming back after a long while of this video being up on the channel, and that was a requested thing, check the iCards. It will be linked up there. So we want to open up Xampp. And what we want to do is we want to install it because we need this. This is vital for us in order to run our database stuff. You can also use other database hosting. You may, but I don't recommend that if you're running a setup like how we're going to show here. You may get this warning. Important because an activated user control, UAC, on your system. Some functions of Xampp are possibly restricted. Ignore that. Click OK. We don't have to worry about that for the premises of what we're doing today. Welcome to the setup wizard. We click next, next, next. So the selected folder is not empty, so for me it would be next, and then we'll just do Xampp 1, next, English, next, learn more, cancel that, next, and then you click next and it should install. Yep, preparing install. I'm going to cancel it because I already have it installed. Just let that run through it. It might take about 30-40 seconds to a minute. Once that is installed, you'll launch it. If there's anything not installed, you will see a X over these icons here. The one we need to worry about right now is MySQL. If there's an X next to that, right where my mouse is over the box, just click it and install it. So now that we have Xampp installed, what we need to do is we need to install Heidi Sql. So you head over to the website. Again, it will be linked down below. You want to click on Downloads. You want to click on the installer 3264-bit combined and download that. Whenever you download this, whenever you come and click on this video, following these instructions here will download you the latest versions of it. So now we simply just click it to open it. We run it. You will get a pop-up. I don't know if it showed on video or not, but you will get a pop-up saying, hey, do you want this piece of software to run? Just allow it. Click. You click I accept. You click next. Click next. So back here, automatically report client and server versions. I always uncheck that. It's unnecessary. It just uses bandwidth. Click next. And then you would click install here, and it will run through the install process. I'm going to click cancel because I already have it installed. And with the file script that will be linked down below, there is going to be a useful tool. So I have right here ESX SQL files install order. So what this does is it gives you all of the SQL files in order, and it also brings along with you a text document of what each one is. There is going to be a long series in relation to this of different scripts, showcases whether they be a paid script, something that you have to purchase, or something that you can download for free. We may be excluding things out of this particular document. So it's always good that if you're coming in and you're looking at it, each video will say, hey, if it's something that needs a database requirement, hey, here's what we're overwriting in the database. This is for future references and videos down the line. This is pretty much saying, hey, this is what we're using. You don't need to use these if you followed the base tutorial set. This is a tutorial set for someone to come back and look on who is developing a brand new server, who doesn't know where to start. Having something like this is extraordinarily useful, as well as all the other videos to come that may not need the ESX property scripts or the police jobs SQL file and things like that. So for us, we don't have to worry about this at the moment. We need to go and get our scripts set up on the server. So let's open up our server right here. I set it all up for us already. I'm going to go into here. I have a folder called configs. I've recently started working on a server, and I really like the way that they have this set up. We're going to go into configs, and we're going to create a new text document, and we're going to call it ESX.cfg. That's going to create our config file. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. I want to start the server first, so I can show you one thing that we need. So the server is running. If you're running it on your local machine, you want to go to localhost, and you want to sign in using your cfx.re account. If you have that, if you're just signing in locally, whichever way that you sign in. We're going to go ahead and stop the server. In our CFG editor, you want to include something like this: execute ESX or config/ESX.cfg. This is going to allow us to anything ESX related, anything in particular in the ESX folder, which is what we need for specific roleplay surface things, will all be placed in there. Anything that you put into the ESX folder, you'll put it in your ESX config. It'll make things a lot easier and a lot cleaner in this. Now, I know this says something completely different, but I was doing some testing for another server. Don't worry about that. Actually, we can change this. YouTube just calls YouTube dev server. And then change this. You guys don't need to do this. I just forgot to change this, because when you run multiple servers off of one computer, you tend to run into that issue. Eventually, in the future, I will do a video on how to run multiple 5M servers off of one machine. But that is a much later video to come after we cover how to develop and get your server to a good point. So, now that we have that, we don't have to worry about this for the time being. Now we need to go back to where our server files actually are and go into our TX data, our base, our resources, and we need to create a new folder. We're going to call it ESX, because that's where all our ESX scripts are going to go. We're going to open that, and I have them right here on my desktop. I'm just going to select them all and drag them in. So once they are all done copying, it'll take a second. Actually, we're just dragging them from one folder to another. Don't know why it's taking forever. There we go. We need to go back to our... we don't need to go into our server.cfg. We need to go into our configs and open up the ESX config. I have it laid out right here. I'm going to open it into a new tab. One thing I like to do with this particular config is hashtag do not touch. Close it off like that. And we're going to set our MySQL string. What this is going to allow our server to do, it's going to allow our server to communicate with the database. So we're going to type in set MySQL underscore connection underscore string. You can do space, quotation marks, server equals localhost, semicolon, database equals ES underscore extended, semicolon, and then we're going to do user ID and password. So user ID equals root, semicolon, and password equals and end quote. So now what we're going to do is we're going to call this little section scripts. So this is where all of your scripts are going to go. So in this folder, or in this order, what you want to do is, I've moved away from typing in start. I use ensure now. Ensure async, ASYNC, ensure MySQL dash async. Then we want to ensure ES underscore extend it. Ensure instance, ensure cron, and ensure skin changer. These are the three things. These are the couple of things that you will be needing in order to actually start adding in your scripts. So we're gonna run through these right now. We have a bunch of them to get through. This file is in total going to be 56 total lines. So we want to ensure ESX underscore menu underscore default. And we're going to do that for all the menu options. We're going to do the list second. And we're going to do the dialog last. So you can do another space there if you would like, kind of keep those grouped together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start going through all of the actual scripts that actually make a change to the server. So we're going to ensure ESX underscore voice, ensure ESX underscore RP chat, ensure ESX ATM. We're going to add in ESX garage. I spelled that so wrong. There we go. We are going to add in the add-on inventory. And you guys don't have to follow along through all of this. I will leave this linked down below in the description as well. It'll just be this list down in the description, or if you download the ESX pack off of my website, this will be there as well for you in the download file. So that way you can just kind of copy and paste it. So if you want to skip along from this point, you can. For those of you who want to watch along and kind of, see how I'm adding in the scripts, how I'm enabling them on the server, feel free to stick around, because this is going to be a minute. So from add-on inventory, we do animations. And then from animations, we go into the add-on account. Add-on account. From account, we go to skin. From skin, we go to data store. From data store, we go to the vehicle shop. From the vehicle shop to society. From society to status. All these, keep in mind, have ESX underscore written in front of them. So from status to the police job. Excuse me. Then from there, we go from the police job to billing. From billing, we go to service. From service, we go to the weapon shop. From weapon shop, we go to the taxi job. From the taxi job, we go to sit. I'll also leave a link down below to the IDE that I'm using. It is just Visual Studio Code. But from sit, we go to shops. From shops, we go to property. From property, we go to phone. From phone, we go to optional needs. From optional needs, we go to the mechanic job. From the mechanic job, we go to LS custom. From LS custom, we go to job listing. From job listing, we go to identity. From identity, we go to hold up. From hold up, we go to drugs. From drugs, we go to cruise control. From cruise control, we go to clothes shop. Now, when typing in clothes shop, it would be clothes with the S on the end, hop. You don't want to do clothes shop, you want to do clothes hop. All one word, because the name of the script is only spelled with one S at the end of clothes. So just to make sure, so you're starting the script correctly. So from clothes shop, we go into boat. From boat, we go into basic needs. From basic needs, we go into barbershop. From barbershop, we go into the banker job. From banker job, we go into the ambulance job, aka the medics. From the ambulance job, we go into accessories. From accessories, we go into jobs. From jobs, we go into license. From license, we go into DMV school. From DMV school, we go into ensure ESX underscore boilerplate. And then we ensure ESX underscore multi-character. And then we ensure ESX underscore real estate agent job. I'm going to make sure I spelled that right just by copying it out of my script set here. So from there, what we can do is we can pop over to our server and click Start. Because our nested config is in there in our CFG editor, it is going to read everything we just typed in into our esx.cfg and start it. So we look into our resources. As you can see, the mechanic job isn't starting. I probably spelled that wrong if I'm being completely honest. Everything else is starting. Actually, I know for a fact I spelled the mechanic job wrong. So what we can do is we can reopen our esx.cfg, and we can go back over. We find the mechanic job in this list. And then go back over here into the mechanic job. Back off the other ensure. Save it. Head back over to Chrome. And start our server up once more. From there, we can take a look in resources. As you can see, everything is starting, but we're going to be hit with a lot of errors down in here. It's because we have yet to actually set up the database itself. The server is working. It is kind of playable. Actually, you won't be able to join it because the server itself is playable, but you won't be able to get onto it. Because first, what we need to do is in the SQL files folder, we need to start installing all of these. But first, what we need to do is we need to open this up, create a new database. As you can see, I already have some here for different things and projects and stuff that I've worked on. We need to open it, and I'm just going to close out of all of these SQL files from when I tested this and set up for the video to make sure everything worked. We're just going to have a bunch of things like so. We're going to create new database, and we're going to call it ES_extend it. And we're going to click OK. So once we have that here and you can see it, go ahead and close out of Heidi Sql. Because now we need to open up all of these files in order. So what you want to do is you want to double click on the first SQL file, the one labeled 0. You want to open it. And once it opens up, it's going to keep all this crap here for me. It should be blank for you. And then just run it over your SQL files. Some of them you will be given warnings, but as you go through, as long as you're only running them each and every time, you will run into absolutely 0 errors. Just click OK. As you can see, we'll refresh the database, and we have some stuff here. So now we just have to go through and do that for each one in order. Just constantly running them, closing out, opening up the next one, and repeating the same process that we had in the first one until all 31 items have been run. And if you don't know if it's ran and you click it again, there will be a duplicate entry for it. So I'm going to run all of these, and we will be back momentarily. This is the only part that I'm skipping because it's very self-explanatory and straightforward, just running through the list and running SQL files. Okay, so once you guys get all of your scripts run, we should be looking at something like this on the database end of things. We can close out of Heidi Sql for now and reopen up our dashboard and start the server. If we go into our live console, you should see that no errors outside of maybe this one here, which doesn't matter whatsoever. We're more worried about what happens up until the monetize your server using TebEx pops up. So now that we have that done, we can go ahead and open up 5M. And what this is going to allow us to do is one thing. First, you guys may not have this desktop, like your local host, enabled. So you want to go into settings, especially if you're building this on your own personal computer like I am. And you want to scroll down, and there should be a spot to enable localhost. I am looking for that now. Let's see. Why am I not seeing it? But there should be a setting in here that allows us to enable localhost. Whoops. Click on settings again. Yeah, there should be a setting in there that allows you to enable localhost. If not, it's already built in. Things like that. I enabled it such a long time ago but that is what it is. So we can now connect to our server. As you see, it's going to start downloading. It's going to allow us to connect. And as you can see, right over here, it says connecting Trolio, which is me, to our server. I'm never going to cover anything on how to port forward or things like that because it is different for everybody. So here we go. We can create our character. We're just going to call this test, put in a birth date, select male, go like that, submit, and it's going to allow us to set what kind of head that we have. Everything is working normally. We can access the job center. Everything is in French, but you can also change these different things to be whitelisted, etc., and things like that. So we have a job. As you can see, the entire map is populated with everything that is needed for your server. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. There will be a video out this week on covering another script that I noticed a lot of people in the Discord having issues with. If you're not a member of the Discord, click that Discord link down below and come on over and join the fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all back here again for another video. Goodbye.